this time around we have 2x squared minus 10x plus 12 equals 0. So we start solution. Now if you look at this quadratic equation properly, you'll find that it has something in common with all the terms. So we have 2x squared minus 10x plus 12. So looking at it, 2 is common divider here. So it simply means that we can divide through by 2x plus 12. So we can divide by 2. Can divide here by 2. Can divide here by 2, right? So when 2 divide here, you have what? X squared minus 2 here is going to give us 5. So we have 5x, and then 2 here you have what? Plus 6 or equal to 0. Here you can divide the right answer by 2, so you still have 0. There are times where you can divide through by the first value coefficient, and then you have to multiply the first term and the last term. But in this very case, we were able to divide, which is very good, and we have this as our new equation. So we continue to provide solution to it, and let me adjust my camera a bit. So we have the new equation to be x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Again, we want to factorize, so we still need to expand this term here. So just as we did in the previous one, I want you now to think of two numbers, so that when you add you have minus 5, but when you multiply you have 6. So you can pause the video and think of those two numbers. So just like the first example, here I came up with another way you can think. So we're looking at the sum. Remember, the sum should be equal to minus 5, and when you multiply those two numbers you have 6. So let's look at the two numbers that will give you 5. There are many numbers, but we are considering also the multiplication giving you 6. So you have just 3 and 2, because 3 and 2 is going to give you 5, and 3 times 2 is going to give you 6. But if we have 3 times 3 plus 2 is going to give you positive 5, not negative 5. I'm looking for negative 5. And so this is what? Not part of it. And then we have minus 3 plus 2. This is going to give you what? Minus 1. So this is out of it. And then we have 3 minus 2. It's going to give you plus 1. So this is what? Out of it. And we have minus 3 minus 2. We're going to give you what? Minus 5. And it's going to give you minus 3 times minus 2 is going to give you what? 6. So this is what? The one we are going to use. So we are going to substitute minus 3 and minus 2 for 5 in the equation. So we have that x squared minus 3x minus 2x plus 6 equals 0. And then we can put them in the bracket like we did in the first video. 3x into minus 2x plus 6 equals 0. So we continue, then we can now factor out what? The common terms in the bracket. So of course we know here that x is common, so we have x coming out here, and then we have x minus what? 3, correct? Then what is common here? I think 2 is common, so we have 2, but 2 is not a positive value there, it's negative, so we have minus 2 coming out, and then we have x minus 2 times what will give us 6 is 3. But remember, it is what? Positive 6, so it's going to be minus times minus to give us what? Positive, equated to what? 0. So we can take again x, this x minus 2, and what? X minus 3, so equal to what? 0. This means that x minus 2 equals what? 0, or x minus 3 equals 0. And this means that x is equal to 2, or x equals what? 3. So this is a solution for example 2. So we have been able to provide solution to 2 questions on quadratic equation using factorization method. Again, the normal term for quadratic equation is in this form, and this is the explanation of what these terms mean. So we have 3 methods: the factorization method, completing the square, and quadratic formula. So from our example 1, we are able to use the formula, the factorization method, and we arrive at the answer. So I'll leave you with a question to test your knowledge, and the question said solve for x by factorization. So the question says x squared minus 9 equals 0. This is a quadratic equation. So you test your knowledge on this and tell me what your answer is in the comment section. I'll leave the answer, the solving, in the next video. So check in the next video out if you want to see if you got it correctly.